Peace, family. Vie Darling, the Cosmic Queen and your intergalactic interpreter. And we are here for a little reading about this new moon. And I don't mean the one that's coming up next week. I'm filming this on the 25th of September. I'm talking about a new moon that has joined, or that will be joining our regular moon on the 29th. And with that being said, I actually am gonna go to the chart of the 29th. I don't see on the website that I'm looking at, it's the Times of India, indiatimes.com. I don't see the precise time that it will be entering, so that's a little bit annoying, but you know, whatever. But that day we also have the sun in Libra, 3rd house, opposing the North Node in the 9th house. The moon will be entering Virgo in the 10th house, and then later on Mercury, Libra, will be opposing the North Node, Aries. And I also want to know what's going to happen, what is going to be happening on the 25th of November when the second moon leaves. And I will point out this. So we'll have the sun. The 25th of November is Sagittarius season. So the sun will be in Sagittarius, trine the North Node. The moon will be entering Libra at 11:20 GMT, 5:41 GMT for the sun trine North Node. 17:26, Venus will be square Lilith, and Venus will be a Capricorn square Lilith, which I want to say is going to be still in Libra. And by then, Saturn will have gone direct. Pluto will be back in the sign of Aquarius by then. So, great gods, guides, and ancestors, clear my mind, body, and spirit, that I may be a vessel of the Most High Divine Creator's message. Most High Divine Creator, Holy Spirit, God, great gods, guides, and ancestors, speak through me what it is you would have me speak, and communicate through me what it is you would have me communicate. So the latest happenstance will be Venus square Lilith. So we're going to look at that. And we're going to be using Greenwich Mean Time, whole sign house system, and tropical astrology. Just FYI, 17:26 Greenwich Mean Time. And then we're going to look at at 21:22, Mercury, Libra, opposing the North Node, and we will once again be using tropical astrology and whole sign house system. So the first thing that I want to do, though, I'm just waiting for my soup to cool down. I know that there's shit that I was like supposed to do, but if y'all didn't know, I hosted the first circle that we've done in a while. And this is actually different. I would say this is the first circle that we've ever done, because Club Cosmos was a workshop, and my spiritual abolition workshops are workshops. They're not circles. We don't do ritual together in Club Cosmos. We don't do ritual together in the spiritual abolition workshops. And we did do ritual together. I'm trying to pass time. I'm trying to pass time because I gotta go to my friend's birthday party, and I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I'm not feeling so hot. So one thing that I want to point out is that this moon is going to be entering into our... It's an asteroid, actually. It's not a moon. It's an asteroid, and it's going to be entering into from the Arjuna asteroid belt, and it will be entering into the orbit of the Earth on the 29th of September, which means we will still be actively in eclipse season. Eclipse season does not end until the 2nd of October. The 2nd of October is when we have the new moon in Libra conjunct the sun in Libra. That is making the new moon 7th house, and it's a solar eclipse, not a lunar eclipse. Keepers of the earth, 𝗵𝗄𝗻, where are you being called to journey to? Soul family in reverse. Call in your tribe. Don't have to do it alone. So what I'm picking up is that there are big shifts coming with this. Like, this is like marking a line in the fucking sand type shit. We are already here doing this work. We are already here as earth protectors, as servants of the planet, because that's what we came here to do. We came here to liberate planet Earth from captivity, from the bondage that she is in under the demonic shadow empire. Marduk is the name that comes to mind. And he is an ancient Mesopotamian god and patron deity of Babylon. And he is related to Jupiter. What's interesting is these one thing that I want to point out is that all of these Jupiterian gods are they're like deities of Jupiter, and they have the same oversoul. I do want to say that because they have like, oh, the Greek equivalent, the Roman equivalent, the Egyptian equivalent. And I don't believe that they're all the same. I believe that they do have a, what's it called? They have an oversoul, and that they are all like expressions of the oversoul in these different collectives. I'm eating gumbo because I'm hungry. I made it for the first time ever last weekend, and I put my foot in that shit, if I do say so myself. And I do. But I definitely sense the need to take better care of ourselves. And first things first is what I'm hearing. It's like the first thing that comes first is the spiritual life. And if you're taking care of your spiritual life, and you're following your intuition, and you're following the messages that you are receiving from the Most High, and you know, you're doing what you need to do, then everything else falls into order accordingly. But if you're not, then obviously things are going to be difficult for you. One other thing that I want to say that I'm picking up is, yeah, I feel like everybody's kind of going through it right now. Anyway, all of the like actually tuned in, tapped in people that I know are kind of going through similar situations in terms of their lives having to do or like relating to the social world, and I don't mean like, oh, my friends and shit. I mean like, I'm not gonna just say material life, because material life is impacted by our life in society, but living in society impacts our material life. But outside of society, our lives would be completely different, and that shit changes from society to society, and that's why things are called sociological facts. Because it may be true for a society at a certain point in time, but that does not mean that it's actually true, right? I like tried to use jam to like chill down my baby hairs today, and then I went over it with what I usually use, which is like 𝗂𝗪𝗏 gorilla snot, which works really well, but it's like really, I would say it's not very good on this, it's just too much. It's honestly, it feels like it's too much. But then like now they're not laying down. One thing that I am picking up on is like, it is fine to experiment, to try and figure out like what works best for you. What I initially wanted to say was do what you know works. But what I'm actually picking up on is like this, you know, they say we're living in unprecedented times. Well, this is a pretty big deal, right? Like this isn't the only time that this has ever happened, but it is a strange thing to happen, right? And I do feel like it's being sensationalized to some extent, but the fact of the matter is you have to understand how powerful planets are. A planet is far more powerful than you. You can't make the ocean and the earth pull apart from one another, but the moon, which is not a planet, can do that. Okay? The sun literally gives us our lives. So it being in its active period, shooting off fucking X-class solar flares is gonna have an impact. And what I'm really picking up on is like, I'm hearing haves and have-nots, and it's not about money. It's not about status or status. It's about having spiritual insight and wisdom enough to listen. Keepers of the earth. You know what this card is reminding me of? This is important, actually. This is why the gumbo is coming in to play. If you're eating fast food all the time, or if you're eating like not home cooked meals all the time, first of all, you don't know who's preparing your food. That's not safe. But more importantly, especially if you're eating fast food, if you're eating a lot of processed foods all the time, it's the difference between eating fucking Hostess Ho-Ho cakes every day and eating a homemade cake every day. And you shouldn't be doing either of those things, really. But one is way worse for you than the other, because they're called preservatives for a reason. They preserve you. They mummify you. And if your body is mummified, you can't expect that you're going to be able to know when to get the fuck up and like do what you gotta do. You're not even really gonna know what you have to do. You know what I mean? Because like, it's not, oh, I'm waiting for somebody else to tell me this. No. Okay, a lot of my clients I have personal relationships with because they are part of my soul family. Obviously, that's how it works. But usually when I read for them or something, it's like they've already had an inkling of this, and it's a lot of confirmation. Granted, what I do is not just readings. I do energy work as well, amongst a lot of other things. So book an oracle session with me. Link is in the description box. But I'm also not going to be offering tarot and astrology readings anymore. You can ask for, if you book a session with me, you can ask to specifically focus on parts of your chart, or like certain things that are coming up for you. But I'm not doing that shit anymore, because the reality is, like, you can find any old tarot reader on the internet, pay them $30 for a 30-minute reading and find out if your boyfriend wants to get back together with you. That's not what I do. I'm not a fucking, I don't even know what y'all call them. I'm not a sideshow entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, this is real shit. And so I'm not going to be offering those offerings anymore. Get it while it's hot. And I will also be changing my rates for my oracle healing sessions. So yeah, if you have been wanting to book with me, if you have been wanting to book with me, I would really recommend to you to do it sooner rather than later, before all of those changes are made, and they will be made by the end of the month. Today's Wednesday, the 25th. By Monday the 30th, or like by the 1st of October on Tuesday, those changes will be put into place. So that being said, the messages are gonna come through you. It's shit that you're already gonna be downloading, right? So think of it this way. When I read this in 𝗪Rᓯ-𝗻𝗻𝗀𝗃, one of 𝗪R𝗇si𝗻𝗻𝗻𝗀's anthropological readers, is a very seminal text in the study of theology, that the Polynesians, when they knew that the flood, which is actually an historical event that actually did happen, there is tremendous archaeological evidence of that happening, when the Polynesians knew that this was coming, they moved up the mountain. And when the waters rose, they didn't die because they had moved up the mountain. But when the waters went down again, they moved back down the mountain. I bind any and all energies, entities, and expressions of existence with malicious intent against me and my collective. I bind you in the name of the Most High Divine Creator. I bind you from speaking. I bind you from acting. I bind you from causing harm. Go now. Leave this energy. Leave me. Leave my collective in peace. Do no harm while you go. Go as quickly as possible and return to the Most High Divine Creator. So have I spoken, so shall it be. And so it is. So I definitely feel like there's going to be a lot of spiritual attacks around this time. I definitely see this coming because there's just like an ominous energy in the ethers already. There's a sense of like the penultimate. So, like, we're right on the edge of something. Something is happening. Something is coming. And what I actually get for these two cards in reverse, I don't feel like it's a reversal. I feel like this is what is coming in. You know what I mean? I feel like the spirit team, the connection that we're looking for is coming in. And part of this is because there are a lot of walk-ins coming in. A lot of people are coming into full divine union. And what I'm downloading, y'all know I always talk about divine union as your life around you and how you have to be in resonance. But that's what I talk about for the counterpart. But I also say that you have to be fully integrated. Twin flame, you have to be fully integrated within yourself for you to be able to attract that energy. And what I feel like is because of all of this clearing that we've been experiencing, all of this like purging that we've been experiencing, I just know that tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and feel hella fucking sick. I just know this shit, bro. This is some fuck shit, bro. I was sick like literally a month ago. Anyway, people are finally coming into union with the most divine iteration of themselves, their divinity, like deity type shit. okay? If you know, you know. Some of us have not been able to have access to all of our memories. Some of us have not been able to, you know, have access to all of our gifts. And this is because of the shit that we've been experiencing on planet Earth. If you are feeling sick at this time, I'm hearing that it is a spiritual sickness. I want to say this is some fucked up stuff I'm seeing here right now. So the son, the only child of Marduk is Nabu, Babylonian patron god of literacy and the rational arts. I have to you cannot make this shit up, bro. That's 𝗪𝗵𝗁-𝗁𝗂𝗃. This isn't though. Hold up a second. He masquerades as Thoth and says they're the same, but they're not. Okay. Anyway, so walk-ins are going to be coming down 2212, I saw on the clock. And when that happens, we're going to be coming into divine alignment with our counterpart. 𝗂𝗪𝗁 is what I'm hearing. So you may think that people that you've been meeting right now, they are your soul group, and the truth is, yeah, they are, but I feel like you're gonna find even more resonant people on the other side, is what I'm picking up. Even more resonant relationships on the other side, because we're still purging right now. And that's what's coming in with this. Where are you being called to journey to? I feel like when this happens, if you've been feeling stuck, you're gonna be unstuck, and shit's gonna move so quickly. You're not even gonna know what hit you, on some hold on to your hat type shit. Pillar of light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. What did I say? Exactly. The Hierophant in the reverse. You know, in like certain movies, when when there's some sort of astronomical event that brings a cataclysm, and it's like on the surface, and it's like some like apocalyptic type shit. I'm even seeing War of the Worlds, not the new movie. Okay, I'm seeing War of the Worlds was a radio broadcast, actually, and people thought it was real. What is his name? He made Citizen Kane. That's what I'm seeing. Or really, I'm having a memory of being in film, like history of film, and we used to like have to watch like movies or films that were like monumentally important. Citizen Kane. What is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. He made Citizen Kane, and oh god, I don't have the patience to like do this shit. You know, Orson Welles did Citizen Kane, and he did the War of the Worlds. Xanadu is a fictional estate of Charles Foster Kane. The title character of Citizen Kane derives its estate from the ancient city of Xanadu. It was Mongolian, actually, the summer capital of the Yuan dynasty of China before Kublai, I am assuming Kublai Khan, moved his throne to the former Jin dynasty capital of Jiangsu, which was renamed Khanbalik, Beijing. It's Beijing today. And the Xanadu has been becoming really popular right now in Brooklyn. There's this like roller rink called Xanadu, and that's based on the movie Xanadu. But a continent-sized area of Saturn's moon Titan is named Xanadu by the International Astronomical Union. Because it showed its terrain to be quite similar to Earth's terrain with flowing rivers, probably of methane and ethane, not of water as they are on Earth, mountains of ice, not conventional rock, and sand dunes. I would be really careful right now because I feel like there's like, if you're like, a lot of people are purging really heavy, dense energies. And you really want to be careful who you're going around, because even if you're doing the spiritual work, not everybody's doing the spiritual work. And the people who are not, you don't want to be around those people, because demons, I say it all the time, demons, they don't just try, okay? Demons try to body jump, and they will if you let them. But you don't want to be the one, who gets caught up, you feel me? So we get the Knight of Cups here, the Sun, and the Four of Swords. This is actually, if you are one of the righteous, then you will not experience destruction. But I see on the 29th of September through the 25th of November, cataclysm. But I'm not even getting it just on a like personal level. What I'm picking up is like cataclysm on a grand scheme, on a grand stage. Like, I'm hearing fall of the you-know-what. But you have to remember, when all of these things are happening, that's like what you see. But there's a lot of stuff that's going on in people's personal lives and in the interior is what I'm hearing, the interior. And what's happening in the exterior is but a fraction of what's happening in the interior. And things are going to start moving extremely quickly, because this body is adding a new level of what needs to be analyzed about the last 4 days of eclipse season, which was already bringing cataclysmic change with it. So if you've been feeling fucked up, this eclipse season is fucked up. There's so much purging going on I'm hearing crown chakra and soul star chakra, but I was thinking actually of the ajna, the third eye chakra. It's like really, really intense. And I would just really encourage you guys to like stay prayed up as much as possible, because stay prayed up, continue to cleanse, meditate, do your yoga. But I do think that like some people are purging in like particularly like nasty shit, and that is going to have an effect on you. With the Knight of Cups, just remain really faithful is what I'm picking up on. Like, remain tuned in, remain tapped in to the Most High Divine Creator's plan for you. And you know what that plan is. And part of what I was saying though is like, yeah, part of what I was saying is like, they received those downloads spiritually and energetically. First of all, you know, animals know when it's an eclipse, but they don't have telescopes. Animals don't have telescopes, but they know when a storm is coming. They know when there's eclipse. Animals know the shit that you're gonna look in the almanac for. Our ancestors did not need a fucking almanac. It helped, but they did not need that because they knew in their bodies, because they were more connected to their bodies. That's why I was talking about preservatives. So now's the time to be making your homemade food for yourself. Really get on top of your health and your healing. Okay, it's not a fucking joke. It's go time. And I said that a lot, and I said that to a friend today as well. Like, it is not a fucking joke, bro. It's a war. Okay? And I also want to say that, like, the things that you're seeing, like I said, like, that's just the superficial stuff. That's just the stuff that's on the surface. There's so much more that's going on underneath the surface. And these people who are being held accountable, these people are being scapegoated. Because, yes, they did do what they did, which was wrong. But I want to also put it out here. Think of it this way, and I'm not by any means, y'all know that I don't mean it this way. There's a certain fallen angel who took the brunt of the responsibility for the fall into depravity that humankind experienced after they were taught to do things that they were not supposed to have the knowledge of. And this is specifically the fallen one who taught them how to wage war. But a lot of people might not know that he's not the actual one who was the leader of the faction of fallen ones who led that rebellion. And technically, that was not a rebellion in heaven. That was a rebellion that happened on earth. And it wasn't like they were like, we're going to go and fight with God. No, they chose to disobey the rules that had been set out for them. They betrayed their job. They abused their power. And that was the rebellion that they did. So you also have to remember there were a lot of different rebellions. This particular one, people think that that specific fallen angel was the one who, like, you know, he was the one who started it or whatever. No, actually, 𝗪𝗪 is the name of the angel, the fallen one, who led them, who was the leader of them. If you read the book of Enoch, if you read the apocryphal literature, that is what it says. 𝗪𝗪 actually was the leader of them. And he did not experience the same level of repercussions that the other one did. And I believe that the reason why is because that one, him, Azza and Uzza, those are the Arabic names for them. Sorry, I'm just looking in my book of shadows here because I know it's in here where I wrote down their names, but where exactly I couldn't tell you. Is it here? I love how I'm always like, I'm gonna put time codes, and I never put time codes. While I look for this, I'm just going to keep channeling. A lot of people right now are going to be acting on their worst behavior. They're going to be showing the worst sides of themselves because they're incapable of triumphing over their lower, shall we say, karmic nature. One second. They're incapable of triumphing over their karmic nature. And that's probably because they don't do the work. And the work fucking sucks. I will not hold you. I will not lie to you. The work fucking sucks, bro. But it's necessary. And I think that the more, like, the message that's coming through here is, aren't you, what Spirit is saying is, like, aren't you grateful that you did the work? Even though you didn't want to. And, like, if this is what you were being prepared for, okay? I think that, like, sometimes, because in school, you probably hear this a lot. Like, teachers used to say this shit a lot. In school, in middle school, you're gonna have to know how to write in cursive. And then they'd be like, in high school, you're gonna have to know how to write in cursive. And then we never needed to know how to write in cursive. It just so happens that I always write in cursive, but we never actually needed to know how to write in cursive. Okay, I think my charging cord might be missing, which is a big problem. If that is the case, oh my god, fuck, bro. I really hope that's not the case. I shouldn't have rushed out of class. This is what happens when you rush. If you lose shit that is important and also expensive. God willing, it's not lost. Anyway, the point is, no, it is. I left it at school. Oh, good grief, good grief. I don't know when they close, so I don't know if I can even go back and get it right now. Great. I'm not having a good day. I'm not having a good day, and I'm not having a good week, actually. And it's only Wednesday, but characteristically, I think it's not going so well. Anyway, people are going to be on their worst behavior. They're going to be acting out. They're going to be showing you exactly who they are. And I encourage you to believe them, because if they have to behave in these weak, low vibrational ways because they haven't done the work, that just shows you everything that you need to know. And yes, it's important to have, yes, it's important to have consideration and compassion, but having compassion doesn't mean allowing bullshit on your watch. You understand? So it's because a lot of people can't handle the purging that they're going to be experiencing, that we're all really experiencing. A lot of people can't handle that. And for that reason, they are going to be short-circuiting. And if you are somebody who you've already done the work, it's a lot harder to short-circuit, right? It's a lot harder to short-circuit when you've already done the work. I'm not finding. I know I wrote it down in my book of shadows. Anyway, patience with me, family. It's a lot harder to short circuit when you've done the work because you are grounded. When these light codes are coming through and they're like blasting down, it's electricity, right? And it's electrifying, just like they say in Greece. You better shape up, 'cause I need a man who can keep me satisfied. You better shape up, you better understand. Why would you? Somebody's listening to, what is this song called? It's by Kanye. Anyway, I'm just gonna Google it. Why bother? Because I know that I just looked this up recently, which is why it's so annoying. 𝗂𝗲 and 𝗂𝗲𝗄𝗨. Okay. But yes, this is from the 𝗪𝗶𝗱𝗁. And 𝗂𝗲, and there's another one who's, I believe his name is Aza. Yes, it's 𝗂𝗲, Aza, and Azazel. There's Azazel. Those are the three angels who were it's also accounted in the book of Enoch. And they are responsible for essentially the origin of demons in the Talmud. Aza is Semjaza. And in some of them, 𝗂𝗲 and Aza are one, and then there's Azazel, but in some other ones, 𝗂𝗲 and Aza are separate beings. And then there's Azazel separately. But the one named Semjaza is actually the one who led them. However, these three were in heaven and they were like, they were like, we're so much better than the other angels who went down to earth and are being bad. Like, we're so much better than the humans. Like, we're so much better. And God was like, you have no idea what it is like to incarnate and how hard it is. And they were like, well, we wouldn't do the same things as them. We wouldn't fall if we went down there. And so God was like, oh, really? Okay, well, let's make a bet. Let's make a bet. Y'all go down there and let's see what happens. And so they went and they did the most heinous things. I'm not like being anti-human when I say this, but essentially it is the equivalent of bestiality. They were not supposed to copulate with human women, and they did. So yeah, and they taught the different they are some of the fathers of the Nephilim, and they taught the humans things that they weren't supposed to know, including war. So yeah, I don't actually know why 𝗲𝗄 got in trouble the most. I don't know why. And I also think that it's worth me finding out, and I will be sure to report back if 𝗲𝗄 had any children, because I don't remember ever reading that he did, but I know that 𝗂𝗲 and 𝗂𝗲, otherwise 𝗪𝗪𝗁, I know that they did. And it would stand to reason for me that he did, and that the red dragon bloodline is descended from him. And that's why they thought they were wiped out, but they weren't. They weren't wiped out because they were hidden in a mountain. And this is I believe that this would be the founders of Rome, and we know that in the book of Revelations, when they talk about Babylon, they're actually talking about Rome. We know these things, at least I know these things because I do the research. But if you are a member of my founders tier of the mysteries, which is the premium tier of my newsletter, the channel, then you have access to my crystalline library, where you can see my notes, and it's, yeah, my notes on these things. Or if you are a member of my coaching program, then you can also get access to the crystalline library. Point is, I do feel that some people had to incarnate into this line specifically in order to clear it out and just like completely like recover what could be recovered, which isn't much, honestly. It's not a lot, and I actually kind of am feeling like this is like part of the Lilith lineage, is what I'm picking up on as well. I don't really like have a lot of clarity on that because obviously I just started downloading this through the reading that I'm doing, but this is what I'm picking up. Knight of Cups. Okay, so when this happens, we have a grand water trine. Lately, we've had a grand earth trine, and then I believe that, I don't remember what day it happened, but I'm pretty sure it happened on the equinox. But there was a day where we had the grand water trine and the grand earth trine overlapping one another in a 6-pointed star, which was fucking incredible. And that was the integration of the 𝗪𝗶𝗱𝗄 field. I know I wrote about this in the newsletter, which is why you should subscribe to the newsletter, which is linked in the description. But what we still have here is this water trine, which it has 2 personal planets, which is why it is not going to last as long as the grand earth trine did. The grand earth trine had been at least since the beginning of eclipse season, if not longer than that, because it is mainly comprised of transpersonal planets, social planets. So we have Saturn retrograde in the 10th house in the sign of Pisces at 14 degrees, making a trine to Mars in Cancer in the 2nd house, making a trine to Venus in Scorpio in the 6th house. And let me just tell you something, Venus is not necessarily the strongest expression of self in this sign. Scorpio is very dark. Venus is a luminary. So this is about being the light in the darkness, and it's about figuring out the light in the darkness. If you have a Scorpio Venus, it is likely that you have experienced a lot of injustice, a lot of violence, especially shit that happens behind the scenes. Probably a lot of narcissistic abuse, probably a lot of like people like manipulative shit, like exploitation, people stealing from you in like the shadows, or taking from you, you know what I mean? Like, it's very much Lilith vibes, right? But as they say, what's done in the dark always comes to light. So what I do feel with this trine here and with this quote unquote second moon is that like justice, you know, you've probably been being told justice is coming, justice is coming, justice is coming. And it's like, if you're me, if you're me, it's like, okay, but when? Because y'all keep saying that shit. But like, okay, so when's it gonna come? Like, what's going on? What happened? You know what I mean? And I do feel like it's here. And it's also in the 6th house, it's telling me justice is a meticulous pursuit. It's not something that like you just be like, oh, well, you know, I tried, I give up. It's like, you have to live a righteous life. You have to live a just life. And like I said, the righteous are not going to be short-circuiting because the righteous have been doing the work, the shadow work, right? But the arrogant, those who feel like they don't have to do the work in order to have a fulfilling life. They don't have to pursue joy in order to experience joy. Those entitled, arrogant people, and we know in cosmic wellness, it's a capital A for arrogance, because, or the arrogant, because this is a collective, you know what I mean? Whereas the righteous, the meek shall inherit the earth. Let's put it that way. People who actually pursue, you know, justice. I get the sense, yes, collective, I understand, chosen one collective, you're tired, but it is coming in. It is. And once again, with this pillar of light here, like, you're not gonna have to hold it down anymore, because you having to like hold it the fuck down in the darkness to shine that light is so that that like divinity can know where to go, to know where to merge to. What I've been downloading a lot is a certain somebody in entertainment who has been apprehended to be like brought to task for their crimes. They are that fallen one, was fused to them to be a vessel. Like, they are the official vessel for that fallen one. My laptop is gonna die, and I don't fucking have my charger, and I don't know if I can like go back and get it. So I'm not like in the mood for any of this shit, bro. But all that being said, I gotta find out if I can like go back and get it, because I don't want to leave it there. I need it. And I also feel like someone might steal it if I leave it there. Anyway, so sorry, trying not to get distracted. I'm trying to figure out if I should like close my laptop now. No, they all close at 10. I'm gonna have to go back tomorrow to try and get it. Anyway, this is so fucked. So fucked. Building hours. Oh no, it closed at midnight. Yay! Oh my god. Yay. All right, let me finish this so I can go get my shit, bro. Thank God. Yeah, so I am gonna have to close my laptop, but it's where I'm obviously reading the astrology from. It's coming and you are coming into union with it. This is a once in a lifetime thing. Like, a lot of the shit that's happening in the cosmos right now is once in a lifetime. And people will be like, oh, well, you know, back when I was young, we also thought that the world was ending and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, if you knew what I knew, you would know that this is nothing like back when you were young. And also, like, there are different waves of, earth protectors, you know, manifesting to do this work and to prepare the way for the next wave and the next wave. And it's even like, you know, the wave that's come in with the crystallines finally returning to earth is preparing for the next generation who are going to be born with 6-dimensional consciousness. You understand? So we get also the sun. Really feel like, you know, right now it's a lot of tests. It's a lot of tests of like breaking the generational curses, which is why I'm saying, like, people are going to be on their worst fucking behavior. People are going to be showing their worst fucking selves and short-circuiting, and don't make that your business, because it's really nothing personal. Even if they want to make it seem like it's personal, it's not, because nobody can force anybody to do something that they're not choosing to do. This is a free will realm. I will remind you time and time again, you have free will. You don't have to do, like, God forbid, like, I hope that this is never a situation that I'm presented with, but you could never make me grape someone. You could never make me do that. Like, you're gonna have to kill all of us, but I bet you that you're gonna die before I do. Like, you can't make me do that. So this idea of like, oh, well, why does God let bad things happen? This is a free will realm. Somebody chose to do the things that they did. And if you can't, like, control your human impulses enough to not do certain things, then you're gonna be the one who deals with the consequences. That's the math. It's quite simple. You know what I mean? Newton's third law of motion. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And I do feel like that equal and opposite reaction for all of the injustice for the chosen one collective is manifesting with this transit that's going to be happening. So I don't feel like this is something to be afraid of. I never did, honestly. I actually wasn't even interested in looking into this, if I'm being very real with you, just because, like, I wasn't interested. But the stuckness that you've been experiencing, if you've been experiencing a sense of stuckness, that is coming to an end now. I can't believe I left my fucking charger. I don't know why it's really bothering me, but I think the reason why I'm, like, just so mad is because I knew that I needed to take my time and, like, put my shit back in my bag, but I didn't want to, because I didn't want to be the only one left in the classroom. Because I was last week. I'm just, like, awkward, and I didn't want to be. And so I rushed. And what I'm picking up from this is, like, don't rush the process. Everything in its own time. Everything in its own time. And it might feel to you that things are not happening at the pace. Oh, the death card popped out here. Change. Listen, yo. We get the Knight of Cups, we get the Death card, and we also get the King of Wands, and we got the Hangman in the reverse, but I shuffled, but y'all saw it. Like, shit is moving quickly. The help, the support, like, the way forward is being downloaded. Just stay in your pillar of light, stay in your integrity, continue this pursuit of justice, and do not acquiesce to the demands of the arrogant, okay? I do feel also take it easy with Fortuna in the sign of Cancer in the second house. Feel your feelings and honor them as well. okay? You get the Six of Swords, Six of Swords, cords though, remove cords, don't forget, you really do. Like, this needs to be a regular practice. Buy black candles in bulk and like be removing cords constantly right now. As people show you who they already been shown you who they are though. That's the thing. It's just about whether or not you are willing to honor and accept it. That's the question. Be vulnerable, feel your feelings, and live in that truth. For instance, I have a friend from this friend group I used to be a part of. I became friends with these people back when I first got sober. So 4.5 years ago. And obviously, being sober and being in recovery, you change a lot very rapidly, because everything that you didn't want to deal with, you now have to deal with, including all of this new shit that's happening too. So I became friends with these people. It was a resonant relationship at the time, but it no longer served me because I emotionally matured beyond needing this collective of people. And in fact, it became evident to me that it was actually harmful. And one of my friends, who's still friends with that friend group, I feel like subversively tries to like be like forgiveness and whatever else. And it's like, bro, I already forgave them, but how do I say this? I think that it's fucked up to stay in a relationship with someone if you resent who they are on a fundamental level. That's how I'll say it. I think it's fucked up to remain in a friendship with or a relationship with someone. And I've said this before, actually. If you're considering dating someone or being in a like friendship with someone or a professional relationship, even, this is even for job interviews and shit. If they remained as they are, if that job remained as it was forever, if this person remained as they were forever, and they did not change, and they did not progress, and they did not get better as a person, would you be okay with that? And if the answer is no, you shouldn't date that person. Maybe you can fuck around a little bit, you know, get some good, you know, carnal intimacy in, but that's not a person that you should date. And it is standing in the way of you getting what you want. And I feel also, in terms of this friend that I was mentioning, I feel that it's disrespectful that they are trying to convince me to be friends with people who I have stated have actively harmed me, low-key. And so I don't know how I'm gonna deal with that, but y'all will know when I do. Three of Wands. You have to choose to come together with the energy that you are trying to manifest in your life. It is the end. It is the end. This karmic cycle can no longer go on. This is really like new earth shit. 2 moons, 2 earths, bitch. There you go. That's it. That's the message. 2 moons, 2 earths. Like, already, I know everybody has already felt the shift, the quantum shift, the quantum leap. I do feel through the 29th of September, through the 25th, I want to say, right? The 25th of November. Like, that's the complete split. And you know what? I feel like a lot of people will be short-circuiting and acting out, and potentially acting out towards you in their different ways, especially if you're chosen one collective, because they're not going to be able to, they don't want you to leave their lives because you are the light in their life. But it's like, nobody should be the light in your life. You need to be the light in your life. People like this are codependent, and they are not sovereign. And codependent people are succubi. They're parasitic, period. If you don't care enough about yourself to extract yourself from those kinds of relationships, don't go around complaining when you know better. Vie Darling warned you. Okay, these shifts are astronomical. Like, this is some like cataclysmic shit on this 8 of Pentacles card. Fall of the what? Fall of the what? reclamation of your power and divinity, Queen of Pentacles. Okay, for the first time, I feel like I'm seeing this card as awaken the dream is what I'm hearing. You know better, so do better. This message was pretty all over the place. I only 22:11 on the clock. This message was a bit all over the place, but I feel like the most important things that needed to be understood are understood, and it all ties back to things that we've been talking about for a very long time. So yeah, hopefully I'll do another reading relatively soon. I do want to say also, like I said, the North Node is going to be in opposition to Mercury, which is conjunct, obviously, the South Node in the second house, as well as the Sun. Mercury 𝘂𝗪, how did I miss that? That's not in my notes. That's fucking nuts. Okay, maybe I did have that in my notes. I don't know. In Libra, in the 5th house. So that to me just like doubles down everything that I was saying. Take action. Do not be complicit. Do not be complacent. Do not let life just happen to you. Oh, I'm just on the journey. Or like, oh, like, you know, well, whatever. It just happened to happen to me. No, like, take control of your life by like actually being intentional in your actions. Sow intentional seeds that bring you closer. Sow seeds of light that bring you to the timelines that are fucking technicolor instead of the black and white timelines, my friends. You don't want that two-dimensional life. Don't take part in it, okay? This came out in the reverse, but I was made to flip it over. You have the power, and you may not have gotten the full intensity of your manifestations back yet, but you're about to. I promise you that. Stay down, ground crew, and actually stay up. Like, I know that like times are really fucking hard and everybody's really going through it, but remain hopeful, remain faithful, and I would also encourage you to remain as joyful as possible by pursuing joy, whatever that looks like to you. You know, watching funny movies, playing with babies, reading your favorite book, listening to your favorite music that used to make you feel so good, whatever that looks like to you that brings healing, comfort, and joy. I would encourage you to pursue that, because these are not comfortable times whatsoever. Like, they are tumultuous. Like I said, 8 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles specifically in this deck, like, look at that. Does that look like fun? No, it doesn't at all. Like, but at the same time, look at what comes down. Getting your new life is gonna have to destroy your old life, right? We got the Tower out here, we got the Death card out here. Like, it's all happening, family. So I love you all truly and deeply. I hope that this was helpful. Book a session with me. If you want to book a reading before I stop offering them at the end of the month, go ahead and do that. And I would definitely encourage you, if you've been thinking about booking an oracle healing session, do so, because I'm changing my rates and you're going to wish that you had done so earlier than later, probably. Subscribe to my newsletter. All the information is down. It's super easy. Book with me through Etsy. Subscribe through Substack. Peace and happy hunting.